Hello, everyone. Morning. Welcome to another live trading session. The usual Tuesday trading session that we have each week, and it's actually the the usual trading session which we have on a daily basis on Discord. Today, I'll be going through. I think I'll be going through everything that is related to crypto. We'll be looking at the low time frame plans and what I what I expect from the markets in the upcoming period, in the upcoming days actually, because I'll go even on the yearly plan and see how we close the last year candle, and then we'll be zooming in lower time frame and lower time frame, and then we see what we identify. All right. The only thing that I'm asking honestly is just go on Twitter. There you go. I'm going to post the link right here. Go on the Twitter link and post a comment because it's helping a lot the algo. Because lately it received an update when the comments and the comments are weighting the most, meaning that if you don't comment on my content, you won't get it on your feed. So I'd appreciate if you manage to like and comment that one, even retweet. All right, so we have about 80 people. Not bad. 80 people in the first minute, not bad. Okay. So I think we can slowly start. I have my coffee here. I have my water, and I think we can slowly start. Um, let's go with yearly, why 12 months, and see what do we have. Let's delete everything. I'm I don't know. It might be painful, but for some of you, the fact that I'm deleting the previous plans, but I know, and I will tell you some secrets here. I know that they are well received, and by doing this, you understand how to frame the markets yourself because you will have a roadmap on how Stefan is framing every trade. So it's like a cheat code. Who is smart enough will be going through my videos and say, well, look at this motherfucker. He is just framing from scratch. And he's showing us how to frame it. And we can actually learn how to frame the same setups by ourselves. Hmm. That's interesting, no? All right. So I discussed about this 92,500. I discussed it as a main key supply area. So we have confirmed for 2 years in a row. We had confirmed January 2024 and 2025. We have confirmed supply here. And what that should mean, it should mean that until you have to think about this like on a 5 minute candle until we get something like this, yeah, and this previous supply area becomes demand based on a displacement, like a big fair value gap to the upside. Until this will happen, most likely, yeah, most likely we will be witnessing rejections here. Yeah, so until we get a proper displacement to the upside, we'll get the rejection. Also, what we can observe is that we have a flat bottom opening here on the 12 month candle and demand. This is the previous year demand here, which we didn't retested. So this whole area didn't have the proper retest. All right, so we can highlight this one as the current year low and demand. Prev year demand. All right. Well, yeah, we might have that one. We can scalp here at 87,000 at the previous year demand, current year low. We can scalp, take some longs here. Pretty good probability. We can easily book a 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 5 to 1 risk to reward and stuff like that. But what I'm mainly interested in is this area. And I'll explain to you why I'm mainly interested in this 74,500 to 68,000. So basically, the point is that we have a inefficiency created here. We have a big fair value gap. All right, we have a big fair value gap here. There's a confirmed fair value gap, and I'll be aiming to get the 0.5. Well, let's take again, actually. Take again. And there you go. You have the 0.5. Usually that's the mean threshold, the point where the price is seeking to create efficiency. Like you see here, we had a yearly fair value gap retested. I think we had an even 75% retest. Yeah, it's inverse, so it's 25. There you go. Yeah, and we can have exactly the same thing going on here. No one can know. That would be 52,000. But idea is that we have a very this area will be like a magnet for the price action, and I'm expecting at some point in time this one to be retested. And I do think that once we solve this yearly fair value gap, the price will absolutely go higher, like we saw here. But keep in mind it's yearly time frame. Then if we go on the 4 months time frame, also you can see this is the quarterly supply zone. This is a very high efficiency supply zone because it's the maximum confluence for the last 4 quarters where price has actually met a strong supply area. And then we have another strong supply at 109. So that area for me, it's a must short here. Okay, let's go deeper and deeper. 105 people, not bad, not bad. I will let the questions on the last part. Right now we are just, let me go through the plans. I enforce once again the idea, go and leave a comment there if you didn't. And now let's get back at it. So my main thesis is that I'll seek to bid anything related to this high time frame fair value gap and the previous quarter low. This also it's a good area for a scalp long, 80,000. Like actually not scalp because I would go on the 4 hour time frame and take some trades. Um, that would be, let's go weekly and see what do we observe. So weekly time frame, what I didn't like. So initially the candle was, we were on Sunday, like few hours before the weekly close. And actually, we had a proper close, so the candle body was around here. The candle body on that specific day, you can see it was where the heck? Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday. Why is the chart is not showing it? But what I'm trying to say that it was actually looking good, but we had a fast drop, which happened Saturday. Yeah, you can see here. It happened Saturday, Sunday. So they actually put a lot of weight on that weekly close because it was a very important weekly close. If we would have managed to close above this key supply that I'm highlighting here, this is a key supply that I was showing earlier. Now let's delete this bigger one. So if we would have managed to close above this area with the candle body, and let's say it would have closed here, then most likely the price would have taken this as support and go higher. But due to the fact that we had a nasty rejection of this weekly fair value gap, SFP, the weekly fair value gap and down, then what happens is that the price will seek to go for the previous week low. So if we SFP'd the beginning of the January low, week low, I think the price will go here for this week low. So essentially my main plan is to look for longs at 90 to 89,000, this area. But I do think that they will be short-lived. I do think they will be short-lived because price action, I mean, market makers, they have engineered a lot of liquidity here below. And if you follow me for enough time, for years, you know that usually when you have an impulsive move to the downside, so this was impulsive, this was corrective move, and they create liquidity, it's most likely done because they want to trap lots of people in their position. Then you will see once again on your Twitter, if we get this 74,000, which I'm expecting the yearly fair value gap, once we get that tapped, you'll see all those messages with X liquidations in the past 24 hours. So this is a probable scenario. If you watched I will go on that one, but I want to fast link it towards my thesis. If you watched me on Twitter last week, I'm indeed bullish on altcoins, and I did quite nice profits with Dusk. We'll go on that thesis on why I'm bullish on altcoins and I'm bearish on Bitcoin. And it can seem retarded, and it's all right because I'm retarded, but I'm here to make money, not to pat my followers on the head and lie to them or use them so I can generate profits on their back. No, that's not why I'm here. So last week I posted on Twitter and I told my followers, well, be prepared for a AMD scenario like this. And if you're not prepared, you'd better you'd better take that in consideration because it's a probable scenario to happen. Yeah. And if anything has a probability to happen, why don't you take it in consideration? For me, it's retarded because not to take it in consideration because anything can happen in crypto. And if you didn't learn this until now, then I don't know what you're looking for here. Therefore, if I'm going back on the 4 months, 1 week, sorry, on the 1 week plan, I do think that if I take in consideration the fact that anything can happen in crypto, then why not take in consideration a scenario where the price will actually bring failure all the liquidity, go to the previous year low, 74,000, tap the yearly F fair value gap, tap this local support area, and then go higher. Sorry, then. Also, if we take a fib retracement for this pivot high here, and then we go with a sweet spot, you will observe that it falls perfectly in this area. So my job is not to predict levels. I'm reacting to whatever I see on the market. I'm taking the setups and I will leave you the results. But I'll never try to be as smart as and say the price will surely do that. No, I'm just playing my setups. Therefore, I do think there is a probability for the price to go all the way down here. And yeah, my spot will be crushed. And yeah, my altcoins on spot will be crushed. But that's not the problem because that's why we are using risk management. And I'm open for my spot back to go a little bit lower. I'm not here to pinpoint the bottom on altcoins because if few altcoins like Dusk does something like this, yeah, I took some profits here in the red box, and you can see we had a near SFP of this pivot high at 0.32 where we have the M top. I'm not here to pinpoint tops or bottoms. I'm here to make money, and I'm here to lose money in the same manner when I'm taking the stop loss. Um, Therefore, it's a probability for the market to go here. Now, if we zoom in a little bit more, you will observe that, okay, let's delete this stuff. So my main point is that as long as we stay below the previous month high, so as long as we close candle bodies below the previous month high and this key horizontal supply, price will seek for lower. And why it's important, why I mentioned what I mentioned, because for example, if we manage to get to hop in some longs around here, let's see, maybe. So why it's important what I mentioned is because if we manage to hop in some longs here, also pivot high, higher high, pivot low, and this is the pivot low which created a new high. So basically we can look for a fib from that pivot low. This is an intermediate fib, all right? Don't try to be a smartass. Everything is fractal. All right, you can see it falls exactly with the 61.8. And also the previous week low, and this is the low which I mentioned that it created a new high. So this is the low which created a new high, not this one. So there is a probability that price will not bounce from the previous week low as most of the people are expecting, but price will bounce from the pivot low which created a new high, because essentially the stop losses are not here, but they are here. Swing low, swing high, swing low, higher high. Yeah, this is just an internal liquidity high. Okay, I don't expect to make too much sense, because in the beginning, frankly, when I was learning, it didn't make too much sense either. But in time, you will understand. All right, so that brings me to the point that if we have sort of a 1, 2, 3, we get another intermediate bounce around here, and this would be the 5, the last one. Yeah, 5 here. We'll finish around here at 89,000. We can get an intermediate bounce around here, something like this, but be careful, because that will most likely serve as a dead cat bounce, and will most likely reject this previous day low area. Also, if you try to maximize the confluences, inverse fair value gap here, it's exactly at the previous day low. The price might not even tap the previous day low, because it has lots of weakness. And the 4-hour candles, they are strong. So this displacement, it's damn strong. Yeah, this is a strong. What it can happen now is that you can see we took the previous 4-hour low. If we go on 5 minutes, we can play some SFPs, meaning that if we reclaimed here, but that's for really good traders. You go with a 2-to-1 maybe. Let's see, the poke most likely will reject, but we need to wait for a 1 minute reclaim maybe, or 3 minutes. And then you go with a 2.5 or even a 3R here. See quantity of 2 Bitcoin, but that's another story. We don't have a confirmation yet. We need 2 more minutes. Okay, let's go back on the 4 hours. So we can indeed observe a bounce in the upcoming 6 to 12 hours, something like this. But I do think that the price will ultimately seek to hunt this previous week low and the pivot low, which created a new high, where actually all the liquidity lies here in the 61.8. Also, we have a good confluence with this trend line. Whenever I'm changing the time frame, it shifts. It's shifting. So we have a good confluence, same in this area at 89,000. So we can see an SFP of this major pivot low. We can see a bounce here. Then we can see another dump, and this to be actually the entry. And then we TP around here at the previous month high again. And the setup to look like this, waiting for 15 minutes. This candle is interesting here, 4-hour candle. I cannot, no, I cannot. Okay, so we can get a 0.5 retest of this candle, stop loss at the week low, and then we target the previous month high. Something like this I'd like. Let's see if we have any inverse, any inverse fair value gaps there. Nothing. 3 days. Actually, we have a 3 days one. That looks good. That looks good. So I like this area. One day, 5 days I went. Nothing. Nothing. 3 days. I like this area a lot. I like it a lot on 3 days. 1 day. We have a slight FEG here. You can see it's some equal lows. I don't count this one as a sweep. Ah, there you go. Equal lows. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect actually. Okay. Now go on 4 hours. Let me pause this one because I like the setup. for then let's go with the fib. Oh yeah, so the fib is already drawn from where I speculate that the specific low will be. 64.4R. Okay, let's pause this one on Bitcoin setups. All right, so you guys are having fun already. I see almost 150 people. That's nice. That's nice. So we get confirmation here on 5 minutes. Wacky, wacky. The selling pressure, it's outbidding the buying pressure here. You can see the candle body close below the SFP. So I don't think we'll get any high probability play here. Right? I still think the price will reject around here. Also, if we look at this rejection, it's at 38.2. So the price, it's really weak. We have a 38.2 rejection here. Really weak. All right. Yeah, as I said, we can have a slight pump here, but you will need a lot of position size. You will need like 3 Bitcoin, depending on how much you're risking, 2, 3 Bitcoin. As I was highlighting the setup earlier with the take profit at the POC, yeah, it's a probable play, but that's for 1 minute traders. That's not for beginners and or stuff like that. Because if you go with a big position size, you can easily fuck up your portfolio. And you're not here to do mistakes. You're here to make some profits. Sit exactly at golden pocket. All right. All righty, guys. So I think we did cover Bitcoin. Now, all right, I covered the long scenario here, which I'm mainly interested in. But I think we should cover also some short scenarios. Yeah. I'm already short from this deviation of the previous week high, as I also pointed out on Twitter. And man, I had so much hate on this trade that it's astonishing. I had like 60 comments. So when I'm asking you guys to let a comment, you're not letting me a comment. But when I get a lot of hate, they get so much traction of hate. It's interesting because in the end, hate is what actually motivates people. I don't know. It's intriguing. So if you're not ready on that short, you know me. I don't like to get randomly in positions, and I don't like to get in random trades or don't have a good location. Therefore, let's try to look for some shorts. Mm. Well, yeah, we are still on the wrong side of the trend line. And there is a pretty high probability that if we get something like this, we'll reject 92,000. Also, let's look at the fib. Yeah. So you can see here the long, you can look for a long around here. Get risk free fast, but this is a really risky trade. I don't advise anyone who didn't trade it at least 30 minutes to take that one because it's on 5 minutes. Then on 1 hour, I would go with the trade around here. So this FEG was already played out. There you go. There's an interesting inverse FEG here. In this area. And I think we have a 706 there. There we go. Something like this. And then we TP at the previous week low. That's a 3.5R. Let's pause this one too. In short order. Okay. Then, all right, I think we covered it. As I said previously, I mentioned multiple times, I mentioned multiple times because lots of people they started longing and said, "Look at this! I discovered some equal highs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, lots of. But man, uh, the algorithm and overall market makers they became way smarter, and the algorithm it's actually changing from time to time. If you don't have the capacity to create context, and I know nobody's speaking about context, only Stefan and Paul, they are speaking about context and understanding what is happening in the market. So without the proper knowledge of understanding why that liquidity was left there, you will most likely get in 100 longs at each swing failure and on each dump targeting those equal highs because I saw that's what people are doing. When, for example, yesterday I was saying have patience and don't try to long anything. I was seeing on my timeline lots of people, oh, well, there you go, look at the equal highs and let's take 10,000 long trades targeting the equal highs. Well, it doesn't work like that. All right. Okay. So I do think those equal highs will be left for a later period, maybe after we take this previous week low and this pivot low which created a new high, maybe. So after we take 89,000, then we can actually target that liquidity pull down at 78.6. All right, enough blabbing away. Man, I spent so much time speaking about Bitcoin. I spent so much time speaking about Bitcoin. Damn me. I see only 21 comments and we are about 140 people. What are you guys doing? Okay, we go on Ethereum now. We have 140 people. Go and like, retweet, and comment right now if you didn't, please. Go and do that. Come on, you can do it. 140 people. And now we go on Ethereum. So go like, retweet, and comment. You can say you're ugly, I hate your analysis, perma bear, bullshit, and stuff like that. You can say whatever you want. All right. Hey, Jade. So we have a little scalp long here on 1 minute. I did took it on a risky account, but it's up to you. It's a 4-to-1 uh, risky trade. It's already too late. All right. So I think we covered Bitcoin on 5 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hours, reasoning for the longs, high time frame thesis, and why I would see the 74,000 retested. We spoke about weekly thesis and so on. And I think it's time to go on Ethereum, no? Let's go on Ethereum. Let's go on Ethereum now. Okay, Ethereum USD. Let's go on Coinbase because I already have the plan done. And I like this one. I fell in love with it. That's why I'm not going to delete it. And I'll actually explain a little bit what do you see here. Okay, so basically on Ethereum, I have three main bid zones. And these are calculated based on maximum number of probabilities and so on. So we can see that the price had an initial reaction from this key horizontal support at the 61.8. But actually, let's take an empty one and then create the confluences. I like the channel. I like what I see here. So let's go with this one. So 12 months. Yeah, 12 months. 12 months. You can see Ethereum is rejecting from 3,300. Who's from the beginning? What we have here at 3,300? It's the previous 2-year supply. So it's a supply from 2024 and it's a supply from 2025. Good, perfectly. Where Ethereum did bounce from? From the demand from 2025. Where I'm looking for another bounce, it's actually the confluence from 2024 and 2023 supply. So this area it's a really important area for Ethereum here. Yeah, this is a really important area for Ethereum, and we'll go a little bit later. Why there is a probability for Ethereum to go there? No, I cannot volume a bit. You can volume a bit your because I'm not going to rape majority is ears for one person who cannot volume from his side. All right, so getting back to this, the sound is good. I know. I checked it on my mixer and Mac, and it's all right. So I do think that we'll get a retest of 2,400. So we have the yearly supply. We also have an even stronger area of supply, which is 3,800, because that's the 2021 and 2022 supply confirmation. And man, it's absolutely normal. We had an SFP. The candle closed like an SFP, which usually is not that good to put it in perspective. And I do think that after the price has confirmed big supply areas and took all the liquidity from the left side, I think it will look for demand. And now we need to identify the high time frame demand points. All right, we can also look at the previous candle from the last year, 2025, which is you can see it's a well, it has a bigger candle body, so you cannot uh, call it a doji, but looks like a dart mall. So if you take this is a dart mall candle, took all the engineer liquidity from the highs, from the lows, and now we just opened the new candle inside the previous year candle body. Okay, go on the 4 months. 4 months, I said. Go on the 4 months. And we can see the previous quarter low sits exactly here at 2,600. Now we are looking for liquidity, because if we concluded that last year we took a big liquidity pool, now we need to see where the market, where price has a big probability of finding demand, and we need to identify the high time frame demand pivots. So concluding on the 4 months, we can see lots of demand is happening from 2.2 to 2.6. And I know this is a rough estimate and like a big ballpark, but that's how you need to work when you're trading from high time frame to low time frame. And then after I go from 4 weeks, I go to weekly, and then we go more chirurgically, and we actually have the capacity to have those sniper entries. But without the big context, you'll not be able to do that. All right, so that's the 4 months. Let's go on 1 month, see what do we have. No SFP of previous month high or previous month low. So that's a clear indication that price is just sticking inside this range. So what that means, if you'd ask me, well, it would mean that if I get any previous month high and previous month low, if I get any punch or swing failure towards those pivot points, I would short, or yeah, respectively, I would long. So any SFP of 2.7K, I would long. Go weekly now. Okay. Now if we put a fib, I already see what's going on there. You can see we have the previous month low sitting exactly. We have the previous month low sitting exactly in the area where I'm interested for longs. So even 88.6 actually. So that makes me think that price will actually seek to go for the previous month low SFP. And we'll actually enjoy this range. But until then, low time frame wise, 5-15 minutes, I think we'll enjoy this intra range play of the previous week low, previous week high. Well, a pivot high and a pivot low can be on 5 minutes and 15 minutes, but when you are on 5-15 minutes, you don't have swing lows and swing highs, because the chart will look like this. So swing means 4 hours highs, like this one, for example. This is a swing high, swing low. But these points, like the intermediate ones, where the heck I have the, okay, yeah, internal ones are pivot high, pivot low, pivot high, pivot low. But mainly, what I mean by pivots, it's actually important points of interest, like the previous week low. That's a pivot low. Also, this low, which created a new high, this is an important point of interest for me. So if I'll get a proper violation of that one, I will seek to long around here. All right, now let's go. Yeah, I actually went on daily towards the daily time frame, and now let's look for some setups. All right, I can already observe some clear supply in this area. And also this unretested supply. You can see we have a trapped bullish candle there. So it means that a lot of people without a stop loss, because 1 year, like telling a little story, 1 year and I think 1 year and a half or something like that ago, someone was saying on Twitter that stop loss is for the weak. I don't see that dude anymore. He disappeared. So if he said that the stop loss is for the weak, I might interpret that like, well, he's out from the market. So stop loss is not for the weak. I posted some articles about the fact that stop loss will keep you in the game enough time so you can actually succeed. If you're smart enough to understand what I'm saying, then good to you. All right. So that's a bigger range. Let's put that one for another time. Actually, no. Okay. Let's take let's look at some random lines here. That's a bit too low. That's a bit too low. Let's look at this highs here and here. Well, this channel is bye-bye. Yeah, I know. It was, yeah, he did. Caroline did say that. It was a well established saying towards this gurus on trading and wannabe professional traders. Trust me, risk management, it's what keeps you in the game enough time so you can succeed. Put that on your wall, put that on a piece of paper and actually speak it every day. All right. I'm trying to create context here. So we have a big key horizontal support in this area. You can see if we go previously, lots of nice support happening here. And even this pivot low here, it's interesting for me, this one, because it came from a major sell-off. All right. Equal lows, there's lots of liquidity. Based on the momentum of this candle, most likely we'll have lower. So don't try to long around here. I took a stop loss. I posted a long trade uh, last week. So I posted a trade last week. I was looking at something like this. Okay, I was looking at something like this. I was looking at this area, this 4-hour FEG, and I took a trade around here, 3154. Yeah, I was looking at the breaker and then targeting the highs or key horizontal or whatever, and I took the stop loss on this one. It's the life of a trader. I'm not here to predict, I'm here to play my plans. So basically now this area will become supply until we displace it properly. And if I'm looking at this one too, okay. So you have a maximum area of confluence here, high probability area. Are you guys bored already? And now we should look for a long. Let's look at this one. I know there's a lot of people with the attention span of a golden fish. Overwhelmed by what? Well, golden fish memory, all right, you can work on that, but the attention span, that's the main issue that I have because there's a lot of instant gratification kids here, and we don't want them. Honestly, we don't want them. We don't need that kind of behavior, so they can stay out of Crypto Traders Arena and my feed. I don't want that kind of audience. And if I see that I'm actually blocking a lot of them. I have like 600 people already blocked. I'm not here to waste my time. I'm not here to waste your time. I'm here to provide with some value because I learned on my behalf and now I want to give back something from what I learned. And time to I don't have time to waste it. All right. Now looking at the okay, some key levels, Monday range, okay, yeah, whatever, but Monday range is bye-bye already. That's a good area for a short now. Can you check? I will check. I will take the request, but not now. Now I'm trying to frame my plan so I can take some setups. Signal, sir. That's the DMs that I get. Signal, sir. Can we get signal? All right. Previous week low. Ethereum can do a little fuckery. So despite the fact that on Bitcoin I'm expecting the main pivot low to be taken, I do think that Ethereum will front run this pivot low. But anyway, I'm going to give a stop loss there. But what I don't like is this damn weak to the downside. This is what I don't like. And that also comes in a good confluence. Yeah, zero point 0.5 respected. So if you ask me why I'm looking at this channel, it's the fact that zero point 0.5 is well respected. And that's why I didn't look necessarily at this channel. Doesn't have too much sense. And you can see price said, okay, I don't care about this channel anymore. 0 0.5 is really, really, really well respected across the board here, you can see. So that makes me think that actually 3, 4, 5, we get a retest of the week. So I'm trying to have a process here, a brain process. Indeed, we can have an intermediate bounce, but that one can only be planned taken live. I mean, what I mean by that is that you have to put alarms here at the previous week low, put some alarms there, and like me and Paul are doing, you wait for 5-15 minutes confirmation, all right, and then you hop in. But I think it's quite hard to take it with a limit order because you don't know how deep the price will go for liquidity here, and you will hit your stop loss and then the price just reclaim. So it's actually way better to be a reactive trader, to observe first, and then after you get the proper confirmations, you can hop in. But actually, I would go with a limit order here at a 0.5 GAN with 78.6, a monthly open and yearly open, and maybe even use the current year low as a stop loss, and then go with something like this, 3.91. Not bad, not bad. It can get better actually. Yeah, 4, something like that. Something like this. All right, I'll take this one. Let's post it. Okay, at limit order. Um, hey, Dalmudi. Bored people should, for real. I mean, bored people and low retention, like the ones who have the attention of a goldfish, they should really not be here. Uh, 1 second, 366. All right. The low time frame confirmations, as I told you, Jordi, I'm looking for a reclaim on 5-15 minutes. Ideally, when we speak about previous week low, you look for a 1 hour reclaim. and then you can take the trade. Check now rows. No, I won't check rows. I won't check anything right now. Let's finish. I don't think Rose has an entry right now. You can see we rejected exactly from the pivot point I mentioned as a resistance. I took profit one here at 0.19. You're joking if you want me to long Rose here. So stop trolling, please. All right. Okay. Also, this M top didn't have the proper retest, and we will have it. We know that based on probabilities and on experience, we will have a retest. Now, if you ask me for a short setup, yeah, all right, we can have a short, but Ethereum, we don't have yet a confirmed low, so I can put my Fibonacci. So this is a subject of change, meaning that the Fib can go lower, can go higher, whatever. Can go lower, not higher actually right now. So it can go a little bit lower, and then we have the sweet spot for Ethereum like 706 around here. So any M top, any rejection around here, I don't know, go with a limit order, with a stop loss here. Mm, maybe, maybe, maybe. I'll go and play the range game here. So anything, this pivot high actually helps me quite a lot in this one. Yeah, let's see a poke here. I'm interested in a poke here. It's way lower. Interesting. Let's see the maximum peak here. Intermediate poke falls exactly here. So yeah, actually it can work that one. Um, okay. All right. I'll look at requests soon. I think we have so and now if we look for the high time frame plan, now we can go at my trades like Ethereum USD, like my frame, not trades. There you go. So for spot, I have limit orders here. Anything at 2.5, 2.2, and 2.1. You can see biggest confluence area, weekly FEG. We have 78.6 fair value gap, quarterly and yearly demand retest, and the 75 GAN. 75 is not a Fibonacci, all right? It's a GAN. So end this shit with 75 Fib. Yeah, there is no such thing as 75 Fib. It's 70. It's a GAN level. All right. I don't have courses. No, thank you. And then I'm looking for this yearly and quarterly demand box. I'm really interested in this area. I'll see how the price will solve them. This is intermediate 2.5. We'll see. Okay. So, and by the look of it, honestly, yeah, we'll see actually. Ethereum has a stronger weekly close than Bitcoin. You can see here. Ah, Otto, that's you? You have S1Z. I thought that it's trader SZ or joking. All right. So I already explained my plan on the previous one. Now let's go on others, and let's go um, on this shit coins and what I'm expecting from others and total and stuff like that. So we have a proper 78.6 retest. Let's go on monthly. Maybe we have a clearer overview. Let's delete everything. So we can see we are actually rejecting from the supply of 2023 January. We have a supply here, which I do think will be retested at 35, this area. Now let's see where the price might bounce. We have 2 years of demand here. So this is why I do think that 200 billion to 180, it's a very good area for altcoins. If this one is failing to hold, well, I don't know, if it goes here to 80 billion, I don't know, I think it will be the purge. Like, Paul has prepared a purge for the Discord. This will be the purge of altcoins if it goes here. Anything is probable, guys. Anything is probable. So if I learned the thing in since I'm trading is that don't rule out any probability. Your biggest enemy in trading is ego. It's your ego and the need. You know, human being, we hate to be wrong. We hate to acknowledge the fact that okay, I've been wrong. And this is how this game is actually manipulated because if enough people they are educated in the manner that okay, it's not all right to be wrong, it's actually bad to be wrong, then you won't be able to generate profits. When you indeed acknowledge the fact that okay, I'll be wrong 50% of the time, I'll be wrong 40% of the time, that's not a problem. I'll take my loss and that's it. I'll follow my plan. So change your mentality. There is a probability for altcoins to go here. It is. That would shit the fan absolutely. I don't know. It will be the purge of altcoins, but there's a probability. Let's go on 4 months now. So that was the 12 months. 4 months, you can see we can see the previous quarters candle bodies actually in weeks. So we have a big confluence here. We rejected, you can see we rejected the candle bottoms, the candle bodies, bottoms, BBs of previous 3 quarters here, January, last January and May. And actually, we are between two really important support areas for the moment, all right? What I like about this is that we, 4 months, this is the 4 months FEG. I like the fact that we retested this fair value gap and we took it as support. So I don't know, as long as we sit above this area, 174, and we close quarterly above this 174 pivot area and demand, I think we should be all right. This is the maximum confluence zone. I do think that should be all right. All right, let's zoom in a little bit. Let's go on 1 month. So clearly rejection of the previous month high sweep. So we took the liquidity from the previous month high. Now price basically should go for the previous month low. That's how liquidity works. So we can see a dump into 183 again. Okay, 1 week. This FEG was already retested here, so that should be all right. Let's put a fib. 78.6 retested perfectly. Let's go on weekly. So having this in mind, and I think the main point of support for altcoins is to see them closing above this area. So as long as we are closing above 200 billion, the weekly candle closes above this point, we should be all right. If we see a candle body closing something like this, then the shit might hit the fan. If we get something like this, that could be a problem if we get something like this, because that can indicate that okay, the sellers are really offloading and we can actually see some bad scenarios. But I'm expecting the price to bounce around here at the sweep of this December low. Let's go on. Okay. So we have monthly open, yearly open, current year low. So yeah, that's a current year low. That's a clear indication. So we can look for something like that. 706. So that's my main area. Let's delete some of this. Actually, that should be all right. Okay. Bam. Right. Imagine that a lot of people they are getting bored now when I'm giving how the influencers are calling. I'm giving the juice, like I'm teaching you how to frame everything, and some people are getting bored right now. Imagine that. What the fuck that this dude is doing? I want signals. I want signals. Where is my signal? Give me signals, man. Stop this bullshit. And then previous one high. Give me signals. Stop this crap. All right. And here would be the rejection area. So I'll put an alarm and uh, try to long some altcoins and get some altcoins. What, Paul? Why? So Capo said, well, he's not wrong, honestly, Paul, there. But the Capo posted the chart that we should bounce now. Indeed, it's a very good area for bounce because we are at the range from 2025, like December, February range. But yeah, I mean, that confluence screams like, okay, the shit might hit the fan. And he's insanely accurate. Um, All right. So anything around here, I will try to beat some altcoins. I'll put some alarms around here, maybe, and try to beat some altcoins. Okay, total. What I said about total, what I have here. What I have here. It's an old analysis. So for me, the fact that we are on the other side of the trend line confirms that, okay, we might be out from the woods. But you can see actually we rejected the 61.8. We had a retest of 3.25 trillion, and uh, we have quite a nasty rejection, honestly, here. But as long as we are holding this range, because it's an intermediate range, so as long as we are holding this range, we should be fine. Automatically, the price can have a retest around 61.8, around GP here. 61. There you go. And I can actually see lots of confluences for the price to give a retest around here because you can see weak lows and weak highs. We have a good confluence around here that there's a lot of demand going on. There's a lot of demand, and actually look at this one. So there's a lot of demand going on here. There we go. Yeah. So there is a pretty high probability for price to have the retest, a proper retest of this W. All right. Total. This what total 3 days. And actually, I highlighted the fact that we are on the other side of the trend line, and we are halfway on out from the woods, to put it like that. We just need some structure, but it's looking good for me. Total, it's looking good. We are holding as long as we are holding above this high. I'm all right. Oh fuck. So as long as we are holding above that one, and even here, okay, market gave here a scarecrow because they said, okay, we are fucked up. We have a 3 days and 1 day candle close. It it goes because technically once we close below this pivot point, market should have gave a deeper retracement around 2.13 and here. So we should have a dump, like a continued dump, especially due to the fact that we are on the wrong side of the trend line. So this was something actually really rational. But you see, you need to understand the context because they said, okay, motherfucker will get scared and we have a deviation. The same deviation that we had on Ethereum, the same deviation that we had on Ethereum here. So you see, yeah, whatever. I'm not trying to pinpoint exactly the trend line right now. So exactly the same deviation. When everyone was chilling Fartcoin, I was buying Ethereum with Paul. He said scream. He was screaming buy. Ethereum did a 3x, 2x roughly, and Fartcoin did a minus 80%. So I do think there will be a lot of narratives right now where they will try to shift the, uh, they will try to shift your attention. So be careful with that one. Total 3, I think. Okay, we rejected. Once again, you see we rejected this key horizontal, which I was looking at. This is a range for total tree, nothing else. What I was also looking at total tree is the fact that we left some equal lows. So this one is a bit weaker than total because yeah, it's excluding Bitcoin, no, and Ethereum. So we are speaking about shit coins here because even Ethereum is a shitcoin, in my point of view. It's a speculative shitcoin. So I do think that if we don't hold this area and potentially create a three tab setup on a low time frame with this deeper retracement into 78.6 Fibonacci here, there is a probability for indeed for the shit to hit the fan and instead having a proper bounce here. We'll need to see. We'll have actually an SFP of the 10 by 10 candle. And actually there's a lot of unsolved business around here. You can see there's a lot of unretested areas which actually they need efficiency. So we will see. We have an ugly M top now that I'm looking at this. We have an ugly M top formed already here on daily time frame. So as long as we have an initial bounce here until we get past this key horizontal resistance, price will reject again and go lower. If we manage to take it as support, that's a whole nother story. Oh man, spoke about total, spoke about total tree, spoke about others. Let's speak about USDT dominance a little bit. I was called a retarded bear when I posted this chart and we were here. You might have seen it. Ah, it's not available for the current symbol. Well, damn me. So I highlighted this chart and I was like, everyone was like 50 comments of, you are retarded bear. Why are you bearish? Why are you always bearish? Look at Stefan, it's always bearish. You are actually a low IQ person, but actually if you're a low IQ, then you should be profitable because I saw there's a lot of low IQ people that are really profitable. So I don't know. It's intriguing. But I'm not bearish. I'm not bullish. I don't care for bears. I don't care for bulls. I honestly don't care. That's a game for public. You are not public. So you can see um, USDT dominance. It's actually reclaimed back inside the range. The rules of the range game, what they say. Uh, I know I have lots of my students here, but I won't ask them what are the rules of a range and what the range says. Okay. So most likely we'll have a push in the 0.5 GAN here. Man, reverse. Okay, there you go. And we will use this level is not from WD GAN. It's invented by an influencer, if you know. It's not invented by WD GAN. So keep in mind, GAN didn't invented anything. Some influencers did. I'm joking, obviously. We might have a retest here of 0.5, and you can see it's quite a big level. If you look previously, we have quite some confluences and reasoning behind why this level might be a resistance. So that brings me to the point where we might see today, let's say the bottom of the week and something like this, and then we retest this trend line around here at the W neckline, then we might go next week maybe on 26, something like that. We will dump again. No, pumping because yeah, sorry. We'll dump again on USDT dominance and we'll pump on traditional on crypto. So, okay, let's simplify the things here. We might get an SFU of this pivot high in the 0.5 GAN and then reject this one and actually potentially find the bottom today. Maybe at the New Year session, if we get a more aggressive sell-off, we might find the bottom today. But essentially, I think USDT dominance has to retest golden pocket or even the 75% GAN level of the range. And this is a range. No one can tell me, well, it's not a range. This will go down tomorrow. Well, if it wants to go down tomorrow, show me a proper candle body closing below these range lows on a weekly time frame. And then I'll say, okay, range invalidated. This is a big M top, and then we'll go lower. But don't be public, please. That's why you are on this live stream. That's why you are on Discord. That's why you are following us. Don't be public, because public is rarely ever winning. Yeah, it's going to hurt. That's the reality, but it is what it is. And you have to be prepared accordingly and use proper risk management. Okay, so USDT is looking rangish, while USDC, on the other hand, is looking distributive. So we have a distribution Wyckoff confirmed here. We have a proper, well, I'll need to check my DMs with Paul, because maybe he'll say, you motherfucker, you're giving all the juice now. You shouldn't give all the juice, and I'll get the DMs. I had some DMs from influencers saying that I'm giving all the juice and I shouldn't do that. But we should keep the people stupid. So they buy the PDF bye-bye. PDF bye-bye. This is a saying I learned from PJ. PDF bye-bye. I think this one was here. Okay. So USDT dominance looks a little bit postal. There you go. This is my mentor, the person from which I learned everything. And he didn't give me a PDF bye-bye. He mentored me for years. For years. So if we look at the initial W's here, again, I changed the time frame and my lines are changing a little bit. If we look at the initial W's for a trend line, we will see that the price, okay, it's on the other side of the trend line. And now, uh, we would need an M top. So anything that has an M top here would mean, okay, the markets are ready for pump. But I'm going to look for an M top only once we get in the short reload zone. 90% is rent. Thank you, Paul. uh, if we put a big volume profile, you can see, yeah, both of them. You can see the pockets around here at golden pocket. So there is still more room to go higher. Maybe current year high and monthly open. Is the test for exactly? Look at Dalmud is really smart here. The test for the intention spawn. Uh, I was looking at Bitcoin dominance, honestly, and indeed, on high time frame, it looks this is a clear breakdown, and we had a proper rejection of short reload zone of golden pocket here. We had a proper retest of golden pocket rejection, but I don't know. Should we call it this? I would call this enough for a GAN retest of 0.5 retest. Can be enough of a retest, but there is also a probability for the price to look for again a 61.8 rejection, which would fall at 61%, but it's too soon to call for that one, because you can see weekly we are already rejecting this key level, which I was highlighting at 59.9, which is falling in confluence with these two pivot points. But if we get to pump until here, yeah, it would be a bit nastier for altcoins. For the moment, it's ranging. What I love to play, this I learned this from PJ. Whenever I see an M top on Bitcoin dominance, I like to get into some THG longs and generate some profits. And you can see now it W'd out, so I do think that it will go higher. Whenever you see W's on Bitcoin dominance, well, it will go higher. Whenever you see M's, it will definitely try to go lower. So yeah, I don't have a clear walkthrough of what will happen, but if we still go higher, we have a chance of going in the short reloads on 61.8. Okay, enough with, I think we covered everything like Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin, Ethereum. Now we can go on shitcoins. And now we can go on shitcoins and see what we can find. We can have some requests, but until then, I promise that I will go through my altcoin list with big potential. And then now I need to look. Now we need to look at 34 charts which I posted because I promised it. First chart, it's dusk. I posted this one on December. It was Christmas, and I said, "Well, guys, I'm accumulating. And it's already up from the area which I posted at. It's up. It was up like 500% from my call. I did took some profits, and I'm going to reload now. Okay, the ones who followed me will say, well, where do we relong? There, signal. Let's look at 61.8. Pretty good confluence here. You can see at 61.8. Pretty good. So I do think that 61.8 will be the first area if you want to hop in, but it's a bit too high for my taste, honestly. I'm not a big fan of aping shitcoins spot at 61.8, but usually I go with a 78.6. Yeah. So actually this week would be a way better here. Let's put a horizontal line. No, actually we have to. This one and this one would be good areas. So 0.12 and 0.09. Next one, Dash. Again, we've been lucky and we longed exactly the bottom on Dash. Let me show you. We took a daily W here on Dash. We took this one. And actually it was a 78.6. It was even better. So this was the setup we took on Dash. Yeah, exactly at shark level, we took the entry. And then I TP'd at 0.5, I think, again. There you go. So not a bad one. Yeah, your favorite influencer told you exactly what I was presuming that will happen. To long everything after it pumped 500% to the upside. Same stuff. This one, I'm just going to wait. I'm not going to ape back again. If I want to take an entry, actually, I'll wait for 48, maybe. That's the worst thing to do to long the breakout if you don't know how to do it, because we also have breakout longs like LJ long. That's another story. Uh, Rose USDT, Rose. There you go, the plan. So Rose already took partial. You can see I did a squiggly wiggly plan. And you'll say, now, you did it now. No, I did it way before it started pumping. Let me show you. Let me show it to you. So you can see the squiggly wiggly. I said it's not yet out of the woods and most likely we'll get a rejection at 0.19. You can see if we reclaim the 0.196, I said. And you can see I put here the first area for taking some partial, and now you see it's already risk-free. If I would be to take another shot at Rose, I would keep my entry because this is the 10 by 10 week. So again, I would refill relong at 0.012, something like that. Exactly. Back to retest the W's. Back to retest the W's. Zen. Zen. What is going on here? Zen USDTP. Okay. About Zen, because I saw it all over on my timeline, all the big influencers with 500,000 followers, they are speaking about Zen. Guys, it's a dinosaur shitcoin. And the risk to reward is not that great, but you know what's great about this one? The fact that it's ranging and respecting the range, and you can make free money. buy range lows, sell when influencers are telling you to buy, because I saw around here everyone was was screaming, "Oh, Zen is breaking out, is going to $50." All right, took a partial from my longs. Joke or not, you'll see Tao, because I did exactly the same stuff. When it was $500, I started shorting, and I even had some disputes with big influencers about the fact that I'm retarded because I'm shorting Tao at $540. So if we get a retest, okay, maybe this W, but I'm a greedy goblin. I don't like to go with that initial one, like big one, and I would go with something like this, 78.6. Maybe we get a proper retest of the low, which created an impulsive move, or maybe one of my favorite setups. We are actually taking all the liquidity from this pivot low. Actually, that's a setup. I'm retarded. I love it. So we already have here one. Okay. And let's look for some confluence. Okay. We had a property test. We had a front run. There you go. We have front run here. So actually, I will take this setup. Let's give me 88.6. We have a nice gap here. Entry here. Stop loss here. TP here. Let's post it. Altcoin setup. Zen. Limit. Long order. All right. Not bad. Okay. Next one. Which one it is? So that is Zen. AR. AR, I'm still interested in this one. I still think we can have a nice setup going on with a market maker buy model going on. So yeah, I'm targeting the highs at 50. Yeah, I'm retarded. I'll follow my plans. It has exactly the same setup like ICP has. And I don't have the chart anymore, or I charted it somewhere else. God knows where. Yeah, I have no idea where I made the chart with the market maker buy model. Whatever. So I'm still targeting on ICP. I'm still targeting this high at $15. Man, fuck, I don't know what's going on. Go to the next one then. Filecoin. Yes, SSP. If you have $100 your capital, I will only risk $1. Exactly. So meaning that if the price, so it's not $1 position size, it's entry here, stop loss here. If price came all the way down here, I'm out and I lost my $1. I want my $2. Um, for Filecoin, we have a psychological level here, really nice psychological level, $1. And I still think this can be a big fractal, like a big power of 3. And my take profit would be at 21 to 25. The risk reward is really good. So yeah, I like Filecoin. We can go lower, yeah, because I had this question like 10 times on my feed on Twitter. It can go lower, it can fill the wick. Yes, it can go all the way down to 0.3. If you learn the thing from crypto is that anything is possible. Atom went to 0. So Atom went to 0.02 on Binance Spot. Why would you think that Filecoin cannot fill the wick? So Anything is possible. That's why you need to use risk management. All the coins are shit coins, and the solely purpose is for us to make profit from them. Hype, hyperliquid. No, I'm not interested to buy yet. I highlighted the plan. I posted this plan. I have buy limit orders at 19.4, spread it all the way down to 17 bucks. So this is my main area where I'll start buying. And I saw chats saying you expect a 30% dump on hyper liquid. Well, yeah. Why? What is so fascinating? Yeah. Spot for hype, yeah. So I'll start bidding 19 to 17. That's a good area for me, and I will offload at 81. That's my plan. Yes, I sell 50. I sell half on a double, exactly, because I want to get risk free and get my money in the pocket. It's not the proper environment to be a moon boy right now. BeamX, Beam X USDT, same stuff. You can see we are on the other side of the trend line here. It's out of the woods trend line wise, but it's not out of the woods structurally wise. So there's a probability we are starting a Wyckoff accumulation. How they look like, it's actually round bottom, if you like the round bottoms, like Bocian was saying 1 year ago. Round bottoms, they are really nice because they are technically pinpointing an accumulation Wyckoff going on. Mina, same stuff. I'm looking at this market maker buy model with, you can see the resistances and so on. Okay. CHVX. CHVX, I was speaking about that week, which is not bad at all. We are in a key level right here, 1.6. I bought spot also, and I'm trying to play this kind of pump. You don't know, these shitcoins will pump all of a sudden, so this week can be filled in a 24-hour candle. You know, they are shitcoins, and Cabal loves to play them. Fetch AI. What do I have here? Yeah, I'm still expecting this area to be a key support level. Otherwise, if 1.0.12 won't hold, then I'm looking at this origin point at 0.06 and this one. So if we don't hold around here, then we look for the next support area. But anyway, you take it, I think this one will perform and it will have its 5 minutes. I think I even have a setup on low time frame. Low time frame on daily. Yeah, we have a setup here, but we can have a deeper retracement and confirm a 3 drives. 3 drives, not a 3 tap, sorry. No, we already had a deep retracement yesterday. Damn it. Ethereum, I spoke about Ethereum, some macro analysis. Oh yeah, I was looking at this one for the VIP guys. So definitely this is a good support, but I like this one even better at 2.1. Algo, you can see I'm looking for something like this. Yeah, I took a long, and yeah, it can take some time until we get a proper bounce. So this one can go until March, where actually I think altcoins will start performing nicely. We already have signs. You saw Dusk performance, saw ZEC performance, and few other coins. So we already have some indication that this is the long that I posted, that markets are ready to have these explosive movements. One of the coins that I really like as a setup, it's Rune. This shitcoin is quite interesting because each time it created a wide ass W, on weekly, we had a massive rally on this one. So the risk to reward is really retarded. I'm open to risk 0.5 or 1% in order to make 50% or 40% from my capital. Why not? Theta, what I was looking for here, Theta USD. Ah, there you go. So I'm looking for the same W bottom, and location wise is really good because if you see the price, the listing area, we are right at the listing price, and we are already trying to find the local bottom. We have OP, the next one. Same stuff. I'm expecting this blue zone to hold. We'll see. PHB, you can see I like the fact that we are trying to get on the other side of the trend line, and historically you can see each time we got out of the woods, the expansion started. Maybe this time it's different, who knows? That's why we are using proper risk management. Okay, I'm going to take some requests. Dogecoin, someone asked. Well, Dogecoin, I'm bidding spot 0.12 and 0.09. Those are my areas to buy Doge, and I'll buy spot. I won't try to outsmart the market by playing perps. Oh, Bitcoin take profit. Now I saw Bitcoin USD. My long took profit on Bitcoin. So who took it? Enjoy the profits. Booked a 4R here. Took a short. Okay, let's take the request from you guys. Doge. Well, I already mentioned Doge. Aave. Aave. What I'm doing? The keyboard is beating me. Uh, you can see Aave, I was looking at these two levels. I would like to see Aave holding around here because we already have a swing failure pattern formed, one, and second one here. So, and we have a bullish market structure shift. So I would like to see this area holding for a long like this. And then we get a fib retracement here and a TP around 78.6, something like this. So I would like to see Aave holding this area. Next one, Jasmy. We rejected once again a key pivot point that I was looking at. Well, I expect a deep retracement on Jasmy around here. So I think it should dump around 0.0061. Maybe then I look for some longs. Sand. Sand is looking good. Sand is looking good. Uh, I posted some longs on sand on the games. Super, sand, and mana. Yeah. So all these are looking really nice. Velo. Velo. No. We rejected, we lost this key pivot. I think market will go lower. If we would have managed to hold it, that would have been nice. But for the moment, I think we should retest around here, 0.0051. No, that's what I said. I wouldn't touch necessarily. I wouldn't touch altcoins on perpetual. If you want spot, that's another story. But uh, on ENA, for example, here it invalidated my plan. I took my stop loss. I think this one will go for the week to the downside, to eat the whole week. We'll see. But as long as we go below this pivot low, it means it wants lower. Maybe it goes here, minus 0.3. That looks like DIM because DIM was the coin that everyone said it's impossible to go from $7 to. And now you can see it goes sub-zero. It's close to going on the sub-zero level. Uh, yeah, no proper W structure on Jasmine. And XMR, well, Alice is one coin that is looking good also. Monero. Well, what should I do with Monero? Because we bought here. I bought 149 and I spoke about this. Yeah, the chaos level from Brian, from the TRI. I learned this from PJ at my turn. And yeah, basically, I think we are going for the next level, 922. So I wouldn't necessarily short this one. I think that it will fill the week to the upside and just grind higher. And then maybe you'll have some rejection. But I already bought, I already sold half of it, and nothing to do here for me. I bought a lot of Monero at the blue lines, a lot. You can go and check my calls on Twitter. You can check all my calls on Twitter. They are publicly. When I take a loss, I publicly say, I don't have time to lick myself. uh, Open, what open? AR, I already spoke about AR through L. ARPA and Koti. Ew, it looks like shit. It looks like crap. Go and fill the weekend then maybe. ARPA. Oh, not bad, not bad. Some signs of life here. Some signs of life. You know where I'll bid. Give me 78.6. So let it dump around here. I'll look for longs. ARPA, Koti. Koti is looking bad. It failed to hold this left side area. And now we need to go to the origin of the price action. So we have this area, and now it actually can go all the way down to 0.017 or even the SFP of the lowest low here. So if we go, you can see we bounced perfectly from that SFP of the 10 by 10 candle. Okay, Momo. What the heck is this? Guys, don't abuse me because I'll get tired and I'll have to close the live. uh, Not great, not terrible. Momo. Not great, not terrible. It's looking okayish. Okayish. Hmm. Maybe if you want to bid, but no, this W, this initial one was the play. You can see it here. Retested and nicely went up. Okay. Chili's. Chili's, you can see. I already had a setup here on Chili's. Already played out. If it goes back below this pivot high, which it did, and back below this pivot high, which it didn't for the moment, it will go back home, all the way down, all the way down around here. So dump it. I took my profits from Chili's. No, I don't have strict invalidation level. Depends a lot on the setup. So it depends a lot on the setup. But spot, I have strict risk management on. I have no thoughts on proposition of 24 by stock by 7 stock. I think it will affect markets, but I do think that some like more and more people are becoming profitable, and these systems might want to make some changes on how profits are made. The market, like market is getting difficult if you don't have the capacity to be dynamic and read the market to create context. I think if you use a specific system, you will get chopped. BCH. Well, BCH is looking like ranging once again. You can see my limit order on Bitcoin Cash, it's 338. Now I won't go to all that list, SSP. Solana though, I posted this plan long time ago. Sol USDT, where I have the analysis. Yeah, whatever. I think I lost it, but essentially I'm waiting for 12 months. No, 4 months. I'm waiting for $79. Yeah. I mean, it barely deviated. Bitcoin Cash, it barely deviated the range highs. Yeah, it barely deviated the range highs here, so it's really strong. If I get to bid again 335, I would go in and buy around here. Banana. Honestly, I was looking to long banana, but seems like it's in a swing failure pattern mode, and we might get something like this. So we might get another dump and then reverse. I spoke about Mina already. Damn, almost 2 hours in the live. Officially, is the longest live stream that I held. Not bad. Paul, it's howling at the moon. USDT transfer from unknown wallet to Binance. Not bad. That dude is buying the dip. Not bad. I will like only if you post more bullish content. Well, I will like only if you post more bullish content. I post what I see. I really don't care about bulls or bears or crap like that. Yeah, XVG, I have my eyes on that one too. But I mentioned so many times about this one. Look where I have the buy orders. XVG, I have the buy limit order at equal lows. Yeah, this one was looking like an accumulation and then manipulated. This one was looking like an accumulation, manipulated. This one is looking like an accumulation, dump it. So I'm only buying XVG. It's one of my to-go setups actually. Once we get once I get my SFP here, and say, oh my God, I didn't thought about that one. Well, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Sui, Sui, no. You can see it's rejecting this key horizontal. resistance. I do think that SUI will dump all the way down to 1.11. So lower. Bert, are you making fun of me? I was banned by your favorite influencers for saying that Bert it's a shitcoin and will dump all the way down to my blue box. And your favorite influencers blocked me and told me that I'm retarded because I said, Bert, yeah. Let me find the tweet. There you go. There you go. There you go. Let me show it to you. Well, it is what it is. There you go. So exactly here in the red box, when I mentioned about this SFP and the fact that it will most likely go to my blue box, it's down 84%. So learn. Stop being manipulated and learn. If you will never learn, you will become endless liquidity. It's on you guys. They are doing their job. I'm doing my job. And it's your responsibility. Right? It's your responsibility. I don't have conviction on anything on I play setups. Conviction is bullshit for me. And I trust my setups. I don't trust anything else but my setups and statistics. I don't have any conviction in anything. Useless? Come on, guys. Stop giving me shit coins, crap coins like this. Come on, please. I mean, level up your game. Try to, yeah, everything is a shit coin. Solana, it's a shit coin. All of them are shit coins, but try to level up your game. If you want to short them, okay, I'm all right. Yeah. Litecoin, Litecoin. You know that they told me that I'm stupid. If you guys remember, they told me that I'm stupid. The dev from so they actually, when I was shorting here, I posted this short on Litecoin, and I said, "Well, I'm shorting Litecoin. Probably I'm stupid." And they said, "That's true. That's true. You're stupid for shorting Litecoin and not buying it here." So yeah, now right now you can see I was looking at the swing failure pattern of this pivot low. Mm, nothing happened. And I'm looking for buying it at price label. Come on, price label. Come on, there you go. I'm looking to buy it at 49, 49 bucks. Yeah. All right, C-Pool, Blue AI. We had a setup on Blue AI. Let's go on C-Pool. Sadly, it's just making the word O, so no, I'm not interested in C-Pool. Blue AI, it had a nice W. Blue AI, we are actually long on Blue AI. Yeah, we are long from this daily W around here, or it depends which one of them you took. But Blue AI, we have longs. I'm actually targeting like the main profits area is this equal highs, these two equal highs. Yeah. Paul posted this setup. He posted this initial W. Let me check. I think he took the 4 hour. There you go. He took this one. He posted an even better risk to reward setup than me. What I framed here. So he took this one. He posted it. I think this weekend. I need to check it out, but yeah. So it's looking good. It's one of the coins that it's actually looking good. LJ, where the heck you see LJ all the way up here? No, thank you. No, I wouldn't scalp here. No, thank you. Ah, yes. Yeah, okay, I get it. What you see. Yeah. You have this W. Well, if you took this one, the initial one, you should already be risk free. That's another story. Digibyte, the old shitcoin. Digibyte. Oh man, I love that accumulation. I love that accumulation there. W. Yeah, and range play. This one can be quite rewarding if we manage to get an entry around here. I would use a soft stop loss like 4 hour candle body closing below this area. Put some alarms. Look at all the equal highs here. The risk to reward is definitely there, so we can easily play a short or sell half on a double. I like it. CRV, I have a long field already. Mm, not great, not terrible. It's there. It's a W. I don't know. If it will hold, I have absolutely no idea. All right, guys, we are already 2 hours, and I will need to go to kindergarten. It's already 12 and 10 and 8 minutes. We are already 2 hours almost into this one, into this live stream. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it. Um, I'm looking forward to what setups we can play today. I'll post my plans. Don't forget the algorithm on X changed a little bit. So if you actually want to support and enjoy the content, if we only have like 50 people, imagine we would have 50 comments per post. But try to put some time and effort if you appreciate the work that we are doing here. Uh, because as I said, the algorithm changed a little bit, and comments are what matters and likes are what matters for the algo to push it. If you don't see the post from me or Paul, it means that you're actually not interacting with it. So put a little bit time and effort. All right. Thank you very much for watching. It was a really, really nice live stream and I enjoyed it. See you later. Bye bye. One more thing. Sorry, actually, not bye bye. If you want to join our community, you know where to find us because it's private right now and it's only if you apply. And actually, if you want Capua 1 or Capua 2, we are closing. We are closing in, but it's quite hard first to get on the Discord. So good luck applying. Uh, I hope you will succeed and actually be careful because at the end of the month, Paul, I think more than half of the whole Discord will get kicked out. As I said on Twitter, I want you guys to put the time and effort to change your life. If you don't put the time and effort, it means that you're just looking to fuck around and we don't need that kind of people. So more than half of the people will get kicked out because they don't follow the rules. I have to, yeah, Dalmudi. Actually, I have to think of a trigger post so they can call me maybe stupid smart or uh, something like that. Thank you very much, guys. We'll hear you in 4 hours from now with Paul at, and I think today will be public. Yeah, Tuesday it's usually public for everyone. So New Year session. We'll see you guys there. Thank you very much. Bye bye.